Hello, team. Welcome back to the Mosaic podcast, season theme of becoming the person you were meant to be. This month's season is all about the systems that change your life. So we are wrapping up month 1 of talking the weekly operating system that changed your life, right? The first episode, we talked about the hidden costs of every decision that we make in our lives. Episode number 2 was about the 12 step-by-step guide to having the best day you've ever had. Step 3, we followed on step number 2 and talk about how planning ahead is actually an act of self-respect. And this episode is really is something that is super important because this is not motivation. We're not talking about motivation. And what we need in our lives is momentum. And I cannot wrap up the systems that change your life without tackling this concept. Okay? So let's dive into it. So this final episode is something that I've saved because I think it's one of the most important conversation, and I wanted to save it for last. This is super critical because we live in a world obsessed with motivation. I mean, we follow accounts that motivates us, right? We listen to speeches that fire us up. We collect quotes. We look for signs. We wait to feel ready. And I want to say this as gentle, but also as directly as I can. Motivation is not the answer. By the way, the subliminals that we create in the Mosaic podcast, it is not motivation. It is repetition. I want to be very, very clear on that one. Because motivation, my friends, it is not the answer. Motivation is a feeling. And feelings, by their nature, are fleeting, like it's temporary. They come and go based on how we feel, how we slept that day, our hormones, like our circumstances, the weather. So waiting for motivation to show up before we take any action is like waiting for the weather to be perfect before we leave the house. We'll wait forever. What we actually need, and what the people that I admire, you admire most, have learned to build is momentum. Not motivation, it is momentum. Because the real difference is motivation is external. You wait for it to happen to you. It's reactive. It happens, you react to it. It spikes when you listen to a great podcast like this one, but then fades Tuesday afternoon. And then real life shows up. I know this because I've been there. Right? Most of us have. I mean, it's real life. It happens to all of us. But momentum is different. Momentum is internal. It's like you build it. And once you have it, once you've been showing up consistently, once you've stacked even a few days of small actions, it starts to carry you. Right? This is the systems that we're talking about this month. Because the doing becomes easier because of the doing that came before it. I mean, it has been said so many times, centuries ago. This is not anything new. Newton talked about this. Like when an object is in motion, it stays in motion, right? It's a physics principle. It's not actually physics. It doesn't only apply to physics. It also applies to your life. That is life. I mean, here's something I want you to really internalize. Momentum is not built through massive action. It is built through tiny, consistent action repeatedly so that so reliably that it becomes like a part of your identity before it ever becomes a habit. Like, you don't build momentum by writing for 3 hours on a Tuesday afternoon when you're inspired. No, you build by writing for 15 minutes every single morning, even though you don't feel like it. Like, if you're writing a book, for example, right? It's not like if you plan to write whenever the inspiration strikes, I'm telling you right now, it won't happen. But you start planning those 15 minutes every single day, even if you don't feel like it, and especially when you don't feel like it, you'll hit the goal. You'll become that person. Because those 15 minutes aren't just producing content or progress by any means. They are producing evidence. That evidence that you're someone who shows up, evidence that you can be counted on by yourself. And every piece of that evidence strengthens the identity that you're building. And the stronger the identity, the less motivation that you will need. So, life gets hard. I mean, I have been there. I've gotten off my routines. I mean, we all do. Sometimes, genuinely, sometimes you're waiting for motivation to strike, right? Before you got back to the work that actually matters. But I'm telling you, the motivation never comes on its own. It comes by deciding and realizing and becoming aware, a tiny step at a time, one at a time. And when you say to yourself, I'm going to do one thing tomorrow, this is the most important thing that I'm going to do, and that is just one. And the next day comes and you do it. And then the next day comes, you do it again. Within 2 weeks, you get the rhythm down. Not because you feel good, not because the circumstances had changed or the weather became better, because you started moving and the momentum created the feeling and not the other way around. Action creates motivation, not the reverse. So I want you to give something concrete. So 3 practices that build momentum faster than anything else that I've found are, okay, the first one, 2-minute rule. I don't know if you heard about this before, right? If the thing that you want to do consistently takes 2 minutes to start, commit to only starting it, not finishing it, not doing it perfectly, just starting it. I mean, 2 minutes. 2 minutes of movement, 2 minutes of working on your dream. The start creates the momentum that makes the rest possible. Okay? So after 2 minutes, if you say, you know what, I cannot continue, you may be surprised. I mean, out of however many times that you apply this 2-minute rule to, I bet you maybe like 1 or 2 times that you may quit. But after 2 minutes, maybe I'm telling you, that means that you showed up, you gave yourself 2 minutes to just being there for the most important task that you identified for. After 2 minutes, it's more than likely that you're going to continue. Okay? And then second, I want you to track your consistency, not your result. Get a simple habit track. It could be paper and pen. Well, I mean, there are so many habit tracker apps out there right now. It's unbelievable. But whatever works for you. and mark every day that you show up. You don't have to do this forever. As just because, just while you're getting a habit, right? Mark every day that you show up. And then the chain of marking becomes motivating in itself. Don't break the chain. Okay? Track your consistency, not your result. I mean, it is a funny story, right? I've been learning a different language. I've been using the Duolingo app. I told to myself that I will do a one lesson every day, no matter what. I am now around 690 some day streak, and I cannot possibly break the streak. I'm telling you right now. I mean, that is that important. Now, there are some lessons, I tell you what, I struggle because I'm tired, because I feel like this topic is so difficult and I'm not exposed to the language. This is a language that I haven't born in, I haven't raised with, I don't practice it every day, so I forget some of the words, but I do it anyway. Some days are like a lot better. But I'm telling you, little by little, even that 5 minutes, however long this one simple lesson takes, is getting me better at learning this new language. Okay, so even if it is not perfect, commit to 2 minutes and commit to being consistent. And then the third step is celebrate the micro wins. Because our brains are wired to notice what we don't do, okay? I want you to override that brain, and that by actively acknowledging what you did, like a moment of genuine gratefulness and acknowledgement after completing a small action rewires your brain to want to repeat it. I mean, this is neuroscience. It's not positive thinking or motivation. Like when you see that, oh my gosh, look at the streak that I've built over time. I've done it. I mean, 690 some days of streak of showing up one lesson, at least one lesson a day, is something to be proud of. And Duolingo, this app that I'm using on my lessons, the third language lesson that I'm taking, it's told me that after they do a yearly review of your year, and it told me that I am at 2%, top 2% of people who can continuously continue their habit of doing a lesson a day. It's unbelievable to me. You can be one of those 2% for the most important things that matter to you, okay? And you have to acknowledge, though, it's a micro win. Nobody cares. By the way, I didn't build this 2% because all my lessons were perfect. But I built it and I acknowledge it. I celebrate it. It's important to me. Be that person. Okay? So we have covered a lot of ground this month together. We've covered the opportunity cost. We covered the designing your best day ever. We talked about planning ahead. And then now this. It is the shift from chasing motivation to building momentum, okay? These aren't just ideas. These are systems. They are systems when you actually live inside them. They change everything. Not overnight though, not dramatically, but consistently and quietly and powerfully. One mosaic piece at a time. They change everything. So here's my invitation for you. Going into this week and this month, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel inspired and do the small thing that matters today. Then do the next small thing tomorrow and watch that builds. Okay. I want you to now kind of root into these subliminals and affirmation sequences, okay, and make them land for you. You don't wait for motivation, you build momentum through action. Every small step you take today is a proof of who you are becoming. You are consistent, you are reliable, you show up especially when it is hard. You don't need to feel ready, you just need to begin. Your momentum is building. Your identity is solidifying. Your life is changing. You're not a person who waits. You are a person who moves one intentional piece at a time. All right, team, my friends, thank you for walking through month 1 with me. I am so proud of you for being here. This is not small. Choosing to invest in yourself, choosing to listen, choosing to think about your life is differently, is huge. That is the mosaic being built together. So again, if today's conversation is moving something inside you, first of all, subscribe to this podcast. Continue the work that we're talking about in the Mosaic podcast. There are courses. This is where I share like guided affirmations, subliminals, audio experiences designed to help you become the best version of yourself intentionally. One mosaic piece at a time. And month 2 is coming next. Get ready for it. We are going deep on identity next month, and I'll see you there.